What is up, guys? It is Matt here from Purebred Mutts. Today I wanted to talk about something I think it'd be really cool to talk about, which is what you can expect from all of the singles and everything that's going to be coming up in the future, and what you can actually expect from Purebred Mutts. And now at this point, if you're watching this video or if you were listening to this audio clip, then you are pretty far down the rabbit hole of what Purebred Mutts is. Which, first of all, I gotta say thank you for being here. The only people that are here are people who actually care about the music that they consume and the music that they want to be a part of. And just like me, I hope that you see that there is much more that music can create for us as individuals. It's more than just, a waveform. It's more of just, an audio signal that's flowing through the air. It's a memory and it's a moment. There was a movie I watched a long time ago. I can't remember the name of it, but it was basically along the lines of there was a father and the son. They were kind of born in different generations. The son was born around like 70s, kind of, what is the band name? I cannot remember. Their fans were the Deadheads. Oh my God, this is embarrassing. But anyway, they were, the whole point is that they were built on different generational music, and so they had different attachments to them. For instance, the father was a lot more into classical music, and he was really into that, whereas the son was more into the 70s and 60s kind of like hippie generation. What ended up happening is the son ran away, and then decades later, the father ended up actually finding the son because I believe a hospital found where he had a brain tumor, I believe, that inhibited him. If you remember what the song is, feel free to message me, or what the movie is. Make sure you message me, because I cannot fucking remember it for the life of me. And it was just such a great movie because of the way that songs had an impact on people. Although this son had a brain injury, technically, I guess, having that brain tumor, each individual song was a form of not only nostalgia for him, but bringing him specifically to that moment in time where he had first experienced a song, or where the song truly helped him. And the interesting thing was that he could not make new memories. The son was always going to be trapped in basically the moment where, it was kind of predetermined, right? But he could no longer make new memories randomly. He didn't have that cognitive ability, and the father wanted so badly to be able to connect with him. I imagine for, guilt and a couple other reasons, maybe feeling like he let him down. But it was such an amazing movie, because at the end of it, I don't mean to spoil it if you're interested in watching this kind of movie, but basically the son was able to create a total set of neural connections based off of a new song that the dad and him had experienced together. I believe they went to a concert together, and there was a new song that neither of them had heard, and he created a whole new memory. And then the father had actually passed away, and the son, after hearing that song, was able to remember that moment after he was no longer able to create new memories. It's a little backwards how I explained it, but it transports us. It's such a ethereal feeling. I absolutely love music in that sense. And so all of the music that I try to make, I keep that in mind. It's more than just the song itself. I like to think of the song as more of it's the, I guess, cover, and there's so much more to be explored within the pages that lie behind it. There is so much more to explore, and it's exciting to be able to uncover that. As someone who is actually writing it, I feel in a lot of ways that I am not deciding necessarily what is going to happen. I obviously have those choices, but it feels more like things are being revealed. After I've made a few decisions, everything seems to kind of just part and just choose itself. I do a lot less thinking in those moments, and when I don't have to think, everything feels so much more fluid and beautiful to me. And in those moments, I feel truly at peace with myself and happy. And that is the emotion I'm constantly trying to get back to. That's the feeling and the place that I want to be, is where things just fall into place. And I'm more of like a willing cog, in no negative context at all. I honestly feel as though the moment that I'm in is just, it's unique and special. And I can be almost distant from myself. I'm not trying to control everything. It's really cool. It's really fun to experience. I love doing that stuff. And that's what I try to do with all of my songs. And you'll know that more and more. At this point, you're probably either watching this or listening to this on the Hide and Seek page or on the podcast, which I think I'll call it the Mutzcast. I've kind of tried to do this before, but I'm trying a different format just so I can talk to you guys more and be more consistent and have more fun doing it. And this is the stuff I like to do. So wherever you're watching it, you are most likely familiar with the Backstage Pass website that I created for purebredmutts.com. I have an entire hide and seek Backstage Pass page that I created that was everything involving hide and seek. So it's got the lyrics. It has the fictional story that I created about the two children that are playing a game of hide and seek that turns into a very tragic awakening into a cold, real world. I've also put a bunch of different aspects of that story in different ways. So I put the story itself, the lyrics that you can read and follow more and kind of see where the roots of the story came from. And then I made the Choose Your Own Adventure because that's actually one of my favorite mediums because I think it's so like entrenching to get into that. And it's like playing a game without me having to like code a game, which I would love to do at some point, but I'm not going to get into that. And I love doing that stuff. And one of the things that I'd like to accomplish moving forward as a community is to be able to kind of uncover that aspect of being collaborative and creating stories based off of the songs or lyrics or everything, right? Because I don't necessarily feel that I am the best person to be doing this all the time. Like I do feel as though I have the ability and the desire to create these. And I have the ultimate desire to be, an amazing songwriter. I'm not trying to like be overconfident here, but I honestly feel as though I have the ability to become the greatest songwriter of all time. That might sound extremely cocky, but that is my mindset, that is what I want to create, and that's what I want to be. And so all of my work goes into doing that and achieving that. And I am comfortable not becoming that, but to chase it and to pursue it is the most exciting thing for me. And it's from the beginning when I first started writing songs and I realized that this is something that I love to do. I've always chased that. Now, all of my songs have been a slow progression, I believe, to getting to that point. And like I said, I probably will never get there. And that's okay with me. The pursuit is what I'm looking for. And in that pursuit, that's where I want you guys to come in and be able to kind of collaborate with that. I think it would be really fun if you guys took a more creative approach to being involved with an artist, which is what I want to do. I want to be able to create, groups where we can create different stories, make songs, make choose your own adventures, just because they're just so fun to do, and have kind of a community collaboration about it. That would just be a lot of fun. That stuff's more in the future, all the real technical things. But in the meantime, I just think it would just be cool to be able to talk about these things. And whether it's with Hide and Seek or with the new project that I hopefully you guys checked out. If you were on the Hide and Seek page, you most likely saw it, the orange box, little hidden secret doorway that I put in there for a special surprise. I don't want to ruin it. Make sure you check it out if you have not. And if you have, then you know exactly what's coming up. There's a lot more. There's a lot more, and I'm very excited to see what ends up becoming of this. I think there's just a lot to do, and I'm just pumped. I'm really pumped to be able to do all this stuff, because not only is each song to me a different story, I feel as though in a lot of ways they culminate into something bigger than the sum of its parts. And that's just it's just so fun. I love doing that stuff. I am doing this more and more. I mean, there's been so many times where I've said, I'm just not good enough to do this. I'm not good enough to make songs. I'm not good enough to play guitar. I've never stopped playing, though. It just keeps calling me and dragging me back. At one point I was like, you know what, I'm just going to be a fisherman up in Alaska. And I'll talk about that at a different time. But I was like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do that and I'll be happy. Because in a lot of ways, I just like to be simple and keep things as even as possible and not to do anything crazy. But And there's been multiple moments in my life where I've said, okay, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to stop thinking about music as like this ultimate thing because I'm just not good enough. And every time I think that that's for sure what's going to happen and there's no other way, I find that emotion again. I find that drive, and it brings me right back into it, right back into this chase. And about 2 years ago, I completely decided I'm not going to keep going back into that cycle because it just hinders my growth as an artist and as a guitarist, as a songwriter. And as I said, the ultimate goal, the thing I've been dreaming about for years is getting to that ultimate pinnacle. The Bob Dylan's, Johnny Cash, that's where I want to be. I want to be there someday, and it's going to take a lot of work, and I can't keep going back and forth. I had to decide, and that's what I did 2 years ago. I just said, I'm just going to do this. And you may be wondering, hey, why haven't you put anything out if it's been 2 years? And to be honest with you, it's because I just needed to find what I wanted to do. Did I want to go straight down the guitar route? Did I want to do whatever this, the poppy crap that I do not like is? Because there's always the thought of maybe I should do what people want, what people like. And I know a lot of you guys can resonate with that. That doesn't make good songs. It just makes crap. And I don't want to be a part of that. And it's taken me a long time to really find what I wanted to become and what I wanted Purebred Mutts to be. I've had conversations with myself and friends, many other of you who have told me your thoughts and your feelings about certain songs and kind of what I was doing. Especially if you're new here, I had a couple of other songs that were on Spotify and iTunes and all that stuff, and I took them off because I realized these aren't the songs for this project, and maybe they're for something else. I don't know. I'm not disappointed in them. I think that they have their place and they have their emotion and their story, but for this project, I'm trying to create that exact feel that I want and that I'm trying to bring about, and that I feel we can all get behind and be a part of and say, hey, I'm a mutt, and this is how I identify with myself. And that's what I've been kind of building to. So first, that's just a real quick explanation as to why it hasn't been so specific with getting stuff out to you guys, and why there's kind of been more of a sporadic spread in between things, I suppose, between different songs. And I Brought It Off back in October. I released Hide and Seek here February 16th. And the next release hopefully will not be that long away from that. Again, quote, Orange Box. Some of you guys are in on this. And I'm trying to do things not necessarily like every month or every week or anything crazy like that, but I want to make things that I'm proud of, that I'm able to continue this momentum with, because I feel a real momentum going with this, with all the people supporting and being excited about this project. I truly feel as though there's a lot of room to grow and a lot of upward trajectory. I honestly feel that, and it's exciting. It's exciting to be part of this, to be doing this, and to, feel like what I do matters, and that I have validity for doing this. Because if you have not noticed by now, I'm a very self-deprecating person. I like to do it for laughs. Also to not get in my head so much. I don't want to feel like this cocky person who's like, I'm the fucking best, because I don't like those people. I want to be humble in my approach, aggressive in my pursuit, and I want to be happy with who I am and what I'm doing. And it's taken a long time to get to this point. I feel as though there's so much more to do still, and there will always be more to do, which excites me. I think before I just felt like there was a time limit, and it made me kind of just depressed, because I feel like, oh, it's an impossible task. I'll never do it. But I've just completely changed my mindset around. I just feel different. I feel much more excited to be here and to be pursuing this. And that kind of like switch where it's just like, I'm going to do it because I want to do it and because I have something to say. It's just completely changed who I am as a person and how I go about writing songs. Like, I've decided, okay, this is taking me a long time to do this. What can I do to not only speed that up, but make me more efficient and make it better, So I've built processes to make songwriting more streamlined and also like free. So I don't have to, I'm not bogged down by like small, minute things that don't really matter, you know, because that's one of the things. I get obsessed about stuff and then it just keeps building and building. And I never truly find, you know, the ultimate goal that I'm trying to create. And with this process of doing the live recordings, it's just been so much more freeing. And it gives me room to kind of express, especially in the guitar solos. Honestly, if you guys watch that compared to all of the rest of it where I have to like remember lyrics and like there's certain chords I need to play here and there, when you're seeing the solos, that is me being completely myself, being free. And it's just so much room. And I don't have to think. My fingers just fly and they do whatever they think is right. And there's some days I'm obviously more on than others, but man, just give me a few takes of it. I'll find that spot because I connect so much with that story and that space. If I can get in that pocket, it's like getting a runner's high, you know? It's just your legs go and they just move and you don't have to think about it. That part is the most exciting to me in that moment. Exactly like I was talking about, everything comes together. You don't have to think about it. It's muscle memory and you're just there for the ride kind of. It's a special moment. It's special to me. And I love doing that stuff. Thinking about it now just gets me so pumped. And like I said, there's nowhere to go but up from here. By building these systems for myself to help me continue to make things and make them faster while also keeping up the quality, also improving the quality. By doing all of those things, I am freeing up a significant amount of stress by just being able to be myself, which is something that I feel sorry for a lot of the other artists who are making songs, you know, for the masses because they think that that's what they want. Which, I mean, who knows? Who knows if it's what they want? I don't know. I can't tell because, to be honest with you, it just feels like it honestly feels like that's a trap and that it's something you can't escape from. I just feel bad for those people because I tried to force myself to do that back in the day. I tried to force myself to create stuff that I thought people would like because maybe that's what was playing on the radio, or maybe that's just what the group of people I was hanging out with, that's the stuff that they like, so I need to make stuff for them instead of making things that were true to me. I don't want to be in that trap. I don't want to be part of that because I have things to say, I have things to do. And I couldn't get excited about it. I feel as though that's probably one of the reasons why I kept stalling myself. I kept trying to find something else because I was like, I can't be happy doing this. And yet I'm so grateful because every single time I would just go right back into playing music and being part of something that made me feel free. It made me feel like I had purpose and that I was like allowed to love myself, which is like a super depressing thing to say. But I'm just being honest. You know, that's how much music and guitar means to me. And I mean, I'm making this video and this, I guess, podcast episode just because I thought it would be interesting and hopefully educational for you guys to kind of know exactly what goes through my mind and why I do the certain things that I do. And hopefully that's a good way for you to expect what's going to be coming. And that way you aren't like left in the dark, like, what is this? Because it's such an odd thing to say, I like something, but I'm not exactly sure like what I like about it because you just don't know. And I was trying to make something that, helped you kind of figure out what exactly Purebred Mutts is. And the kind of people that, like yourself and like myself that, expect more or just want more from their music. I want to make something for us, I'm not making songs for, other people who want to listen to the top 100. I'm not making it for that. I'm making it for you and me. Like I said in that last video, I'm just trying to do what's right for myself and for us as a community, as Mutts. I want to make something that we can all just be proud of and be proud of being a part of, and that's such a unique thing I think it's such a unique thing to do. Now I may be wrong. That's fair. And to also, just to give everyone a little benefit of the doubt, I'm not saying that there's any specific band that does this. I'm not saying that, because there's a whole bunch of reasons why, certain bands do certain things. There's a whole bunch of reasons for that. And I don't want to dog anyone for, like, if people want to make those songs and it's real to them, like, that's really what I'm talking about, But it is very evident when a song is written for the purpose of getting money, in the form of like plays or whatever. Like, it's very evident that I made this song because I know it will make money, which is a lot of the bigger songs nowadays. Not all of them. I don't want to just throw people under the bus that don't deserve it, because there are truly people who care about their craft and care about what they do. And I don't know all of them. I know some of them, and even probably some of the people that I suspect making those crappy songs, they might really identify with that. I don't know who they are. I have my own opinion. I'm going to stick with it. You have your own as well. And the reason that I don't want to dog on people is I just don't know them. Everyone's got their own situations. They got their own understandings of what music is. I decided it'd be fun for you guys to know exactly what mine is, so we can be on the same page, because there's a lot to do. There's a lot to say. I don't want you guys to be sitting there like, this conflicts with what I thought you were. So I wanted to be super clear with who I am and what I wanted to do with these songs. Now, there's a couple of things I think I should generally clear up pertaining mainly to the songs that you hear on Spotify and iTunes, wherever you listen to your music, and I have it uploaded. I have 3 songs on there as of right now. There is Hide and Seek, which just came out February 16th. There is I Brought Enough, and then there is Sank for Natra. Now, if you listen to I Brought Enough and Hide and Seek, they sound very similar, and the reason is because I recorded them in the same exact fashion. It was a live performance. That was the tone that I have decided to go forward with creating with Purebred Mutts, is that kind of tone, that like raw, give me a place to solo and let me kind of be free. Sank for Natra was completely story driven, and I have gotten feedback, and I will continue to get feedback from you and from a whole bunch of other people, and this isn't wrong because I understand where it comes from, is that people don't think it fits, and they see that as me being hypocritical and making songs for the masses and for the numbers. And I just wanted to be straight up honest with you guys and talk to you specifically why I made the song. And I've made a couple videos before talking about it. I don't know if I still have them posted, or because I try to be as clear as possible, but sometimes I don't display it in the correct way. And for that specific song, first of all, I had been playing with the chord progression for it for years. And it started out as a joke because I was making fun of a Frank Sinatra song. And then it turned into a song that I really cared about. Now, the beginning part is where I lose everyone, because they expect a certain thing from my songs, and I get that. And that is really what you're going to be hearing going forward. I would like to say that Sank for Natra is very much of a one-off song, but the story to me is very important. It's very prevalent, and that's why I decided to go full bore with it and create it. Also, at that time, I wasn't exactly sure what Purebred Mutts was going to be, if it was going to be this specific thing that I wanted, and I just wasn't sure the direction. I am now much more confident. I still think that Sank for Natra fits in there because of the story aspect. The story is everything to me. It is the most important thing. And the story just felt so powerful in that moment. The first half of the song is not for most people in this audience, and I totally understand that. I get it. That song I wrote for me. I wrote it for me because of what I felt. The emotions kind of switched, or, moved around in that song. It checked a lot of boxes for me when I made it, and it was a lot of fun to make. A lot of people do not like the auto-tune in the beginning. Let me just talk about that real fast. The auto-tune was not really for making the song sound better. In fact, it was for making the song sound worse. And I chose auto-tune because the voice of the character in that specific moment was fake. They were lying. They were talking about things in the same way Marie Antoinette would talk. Let them eat cake, which I don't actually think she said that. But anyway, it's about someone who's being fake, which is why I chose to make it auto-tune. People don't like that sound because it has that negative connotation, and I get it. I do not normally auto-tune my voice. I very rarely auto-tune my voice. You'll hear that in all the songs that come in the future, is I will do everything in my power not to auto-tune it. I'll just take it again and again until I can hit it correctly, because I know I can. And I actually did hit it correctly. I auto-tuned to mess it up. I did it because I wanted it to sound hollow and bad. I wanted it to sound kind of crappy, which may be counterintuitive. I understand that. But that was that decision. That's a big gripe that I get from a whole bunch of people. I understand that. If you read the lyrics, I feel as though you will understand it a little bit more. If you don't like it, I totally get it. It's, like I said, it's for the narrative. It's for that design specifically. And I understand you don't need to like it. I'm not tripping about that. I just feel like it was important for me to explain it and kind of let you know that's not going to be what comes next. That was completely narrative driven, and it was a creative decision that I actually feel like there was better ways to go about it now, but I've moved past that story at this point. I'm not going to retouch it, but just wanted to explain that. Now, the second verse or chorusy part, it's kind of a Euro pop thing. Again, that's not going to sound like what my music sounds like going forward. It's not. It just isn't. That in, the second part of the story was basically that mob mentality. So I wanted to make a sound that felt kind of like the masses, attacking something, taking over, which is why I chose it in that specific way. Again, not going to sound like what I normally do, but I did that for the story itself. So that's two parts now that you've heard that you will most likely not enjoy, which is fine. Fine. Okay. The third part is the more exciting aspect of me, of the song, where it gets into a more kind of like self-reflected anger mode. The character in that moment has completely accepted that mob mentality and is now attacking these characters that have wronged the mob in this sense. And it's much more kind of like angry trap rap kind of thing, which again, I would say that one sounds more like all the songs that are going to be coming through because of the way the vocals hit. I also use a lot of 808s in the newer songs. I'm trying to blend more of that in because I think it's a very unique and fun sound to mix with the guitars and the blues and rocks and all that stuff. So that part I'm very proud of, and I actually think you'll most likely enjoy it. And then the fourth part is, it's more of kind of like a third person. You're viewing everything from the top. So all of the decisions that the characters have made are coming to fruition. That's why I made that. There's a little a couple little guitar diddlies in there that were a lot of fun to do. And I think the last two sections of that song you will more than likely enjoy. The first two you won't, which is why I hope that you give it a chance, but do not go in expecting you probably won't like it. And then I'm totally cool with it. That's fine. Like I said, I wrote it for me. That's not what the stuff is going to sound like in the future. All right, I'm done talking about that. Let's move on to a couple other ideas that I have going forward. If you have not, I would love if you would try out the Choose Your Own Adventure section of Hide and Seek, and there's a couple reasons why. Mainly because there are outcomes in the Choose Your Own Adventure that do not reveal themselves in the lyrics or the fictional story. It's a completely separate thing, and I meant it to be more interactive and fun. If you're wondering how I did that, I'll actually make a video with how I actually created it, the entire steps, because I think it's a lot of fun to do, and I plan on doing more of them for upcoming releases moving forward, just because it's so fun to do. It's very time consuming, but it is a lot of fun to do, and I want to continue to do that. If you haven't done it, please check it out. You can find that at purebredmutts.com/HNS, Hide and Seek. Feel free to check it out there. I'll also have like a link for it below in the comments, or the show notes if you really want to. I'll make sure you guys are able to check it out. At this point, you most likely have seen it. I would just love to get your feedback. See if there's anything that was like wonky about it, if there's things that you liked or didn't like. Just that way I can make the next one better. And if you guys don't like it at all, then I'd also like to know that, because it is very time consuming and I enjoy doing it. But if no one enjoys it, or if there's a better way for me to get that interactivity across, I'd love to explore that as well. But it's a lot of fun to make, very time consuming, like I said. But, you know, I'd love if you check it out and let me know what your thoughts are. Beyond that, let's get into a aspect of Purebred Mutts that I think is the most interesting and fun. And that is hiding small clues throughout everything. So I love doing this. I love doing it because it gives me a better foresight into what exactly I want to do with certain things. So at this point, you guys have all seen hide and seek, and you know that I've hidden in those couple different words. I didn't hide them very intensely, but you will also notice that there are a whole bunch of Purebred Mutts logos scattered throughout the song. Feel free to find them if you haven't. I would love to see if you guys can find all of them, because they were just fun to put in there. I put them in just because it's fun to do that. And that's the kind of depth that I'd like to put more into everything that I put out going forward. Is everything is interconnected in fun ways. And the best way to do that, in my opinion, is just having fun putting clues in places that shouldn't be clues. So here's a little tip for you guys. If you follow me on Instagram at Purebred Mutts, you will actually find clues to a lot of interesting stories in the hashtags. So I use some of the hashtags for, you know, general things so that people who, you know, I don't have to pay for advertisements or whatever to get to see people or for people to see my content. I use them for normal stuff like that, as you would normally use a hashtag. But I also put secret messages in there and little keys that you can unlock certain fun stories from my past or fictional stories. And yeah, all that, just because I think it's fun. And I want people who want to seek out that stuff to be able to find it. So feel free to check that out. I put them in almost every single picture, if not all of them. The stories that I put out are not very frequent, but all of my stories also include something that is hidden in there. So make sure you look and just, you know, have fun to do that. I love doing small little like scavenger hunt kind of stuff, because I think there's a lot to say about just being, you know, hidden in plain sight. I think that's just such an interesting concept. I've been looking more into magicians and how people use magic to kind of like misdirect, you know, your eyesight and everything like that. I tried to incorporate that in a couple of the videos that I'll be putting out in the future, a couple of the photos, because I think it's just fun. And there's something exciting about being able to like find out a clue when everyone else is looking somewhere else. And you see that, like you're in the grocery store and you see the gorilla buying groceries, but no one else is looking up because they're on their phone, right? Like, what a fun thing. Also terrifying. Why the fuck is there a gorilla in the shopping in the grocery store? I digress. I love doing that stuff, and I hope that you guys have fun finding all these like clues and stories that I've created, because they're a lot of fun to do. They're so fun to do, and I'm gonna keep doing it. Take a page from, I think, is it Taylor Swift who does that as well? She kind of like hides clues or something. I keep hearing about that. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to do. Also, I want to talk more about some cool merch that I've been making and I've been coming up with. So I have a specific merch launch for hide and seek. It's all limited stuff because I don't have a lot of money to be buying bulk. And I also just want to see like how many people actually want this stuff and what things do people enjoy. And I made a couple of different, merch items for you guys. So the main one for hide and seek, obviously, is the hide and seek t-shirt, which is the hand with the eyeball, which I designed myself. It was a lot of fun to make that. I think it was real visual and a lot of fun to do. And it's just a cool design. So I'm selling the black t-shirt with the white ink, all different sizes, small, medium, large, extra large. If you need a bigger one, feel free to let me know. I just wasn't sure. And then obviously the sizing chart's down there. You can find that again, purebredmutts.com/HNS. Yeah. So the merch, that item is really cool. It's a real soft fabric and it's a lot of fun to wear. You guys will notice on my Instagram, I actually wear it a lot. It's not because I'm trying to plug it. It's actually because it's really fucking comfy. And I chose that because I want you to wear the shirts, because they're good shirts to wear. And also you'd be supporting my art and the song that you most identify with. So maybe, for instance, hide and seek isn't your cup of tea. That's totally fine. as the new songs come out, every song is going to have a different shirt that's going to be limited run for that specific song. So if you connect with one over the other, then you have something that can say, hey, like, this is my vibe, you know, this is my stuff. And you have like a limited run version of that. So that's a lot of fun. I'm really excited to be doing that. I hand make all of those myself, just because I want it to be the best quality for you guys. And again, with all of the packages that you get, there are secret little surprises in there for you. So I hope that you guys really enjoy that. I also have a couple other really interesting merch items, which I will share with you guys in a completely separate video where it's just showing off the hide and seek merch. But I just wanted to talk to you about it and get some general ideas for things moving forward. So when I recorded hide and seek, it was about a week-long process between writing and actually finishing production and recording. And through that time, I played a lot of guitar, and I went through about, I think it was 10 or 11 guitar picks. I was wondering if you guys would be interested in actually, you know, buying one of the used guitar picks for hide and seek. Now, of course, if you're super into hide and seek and you love it and you just love what's going on, then this is a perfect merch item for you. It's a perfect way to commemorate, to say, hey, I have a piece of this recording. And I've built kind of a display case for them. They'll have their own documentation saying they are from the recording and tracking of hide and seek. So that way you can say, hey, I actually have this pick that he used to make this song, you know? I just think that would be really, I was hoping you guys really enjoy that. I'm not sure what to price it for. So instead of actually putting a price tag on it, I've decided I'm going to let you guys pay what you want for them. Just because you guys deserve it. If you guys want it, pay whatever you want for them. That way it's just a memory for you, and you can have them forever, and you can have a piece of hide and seek with you from me forever. So I'll have that option. Again, there's only a few of them. So if you actually want it, make sure you get on that quick. They may already be gone by now. So I can't guarantee you'll be able to get it. If this is something people enjoy, I'll make sure that I start actually saving more of my picks in the project. So that way, if this is something people actually want, then I can do that. And again, people can have something that is like specific for those songs. Like I said, if they're there, grab them, pay what you want. I appreciate all of the support again. Those are two of the bigger merch items for hide and seek. I have one other idea, but it isn't flushed out yet. So I'm probably just going to keep it to those for now. And then, you know, as the releases come, I'll see more and more what you guys want. Again, if you guys actually have anything interesting, I'm going to run like a poll to see what you guys want and what would be interesting for you. So that way, not only can you help support everything that I'm doing here with like trying to re-revolutionize the guitar and make songs that are important, you can also have something that you enjoy and you actually want, and you don't have to just buy crappy things. You know, you can have something that is interesting and fun and unique to you. So I just wanted to talk about that and get that out of the way. Hide and Seek is the most recent release, and I'm really excited about it. I've put a lot of work into it. It's a lot of fun to make. And I think, honestly, it really exemplifies where this project is going forward. So all the people who have been here from, all the people who have been here from I Brought Enough and have now seen this, I feel like those two songs really give a good idea of what you'll be getting moving forward. Now, I will be experimenting here and there. Like I said, I really love using 808s. I think it's a really unique bass sound you can get with them. And then the drums, a lot of them are samples. A whole bunch of different samples that I've put in. So I'm trying to implement like just a different blues rock style into this like new, genre blend that I'm trying to create. I wouldn't say it's like insanely unique. I imagine there's other people who are trying to do it, but I would like to put more effort into pushing it forward because I honestly feel like there is a lot to do and there's way more that I can accomplish, not only just with like that genre blending style, but like pushing rock forward. Because the thing I hate hearing about is that rock and roll is dead and that, all this stuff, it's all, for retirement homes is what I keep hearing all the time, is that it's dead and gone. No one cares about Rolling Stones. No one cares about that stuff. And I think that's all bullshit. I honestly feel like there is a place for the guitar in the future. I was just watching this documentary on Netflix. I wasn't just watching. I was watching a few months back, And it really made me mad because I think it was like something about the decade 2000s or something. It was like a documentary, and like each episode was like a different aspect of it. And one of them was about music, and they were talking about all the cool things that were happening in 2010s. And then one of the things that the people said, this one guy specifically said that the next revolution of music will not be with the guitar. And that pissed me off. It made me so mad because I was like, guitar's not done. There is so much more to do. There is so much more that can be accomplished with it, and that needs to be accomplished with it. I don't want people to think that it's dead, because it's not. It's not. It's only got more to do. I just think that there's more creative ways you can do it. Imagine if someone said that. And I bet there were people who were saying that right before Rage Against the Machine came out, and Tom Morello started destroying people's eyelids with those tasty sounds, man. They were, oh, I love that. I love listening to that, man. First time I heard Bulls on Parade, I was blown away. And people, I know for sure, and to be fair, I wasn't around, but there's always people who discredit guitar and say that it's done what it can do. And I can't go along with it. I don't agree with you. I think you're stupid. I don't think you understand what's going to be happening, because this stuff is it's gonna go somewhere no one can truly understand. I hope to be there. And if I'm not there, I hope that someone who's a part of this community, someone who's come up in the Mutt Pack, truly gets to express what the guitar can be in the next generation, because we're not done. We are not even close to done. We have so much more to do. I'm excited to do it. I am excited. I'm not going to be part of this, dying breed, because we're still here. We're still kicking. We're still rolling. We're getting after it. I love the guitar too much to say that it's how could you not see the possibilities? Like, it's infinite. Truly, it feels infinite with the possibilities. And a lot of people will say that at some point, every single possibility of a song will have been written, because to an extent, there is a finite amount of notes, of like tonalities, of waveforms. There is a finite way that things can be made. But in that finite amount, we have not scratched any kind of semblance of the surface. We haven't even gotten close. And to say that the guitar is just done is being ignorant. And I'm not with you. And I'm going to prove you wrong. That's where I'm at right now. Anyway, guys, that is it for me. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Make sure you check out Hide and Seek, purebredmutts.com/HNS, Henry Nora Sam. So that way you can see all the things I was talking about. You can get access for free for the backstage pass of Hide and Seek, everything you need to know, lyrics, the story behind the lyrics, so the fictional story, the story behind how I made the fictional story. You can get the Choose Your Own Adventure, was a lot of fun to make, took way too long. And you can also see more of kind of how I got to that mindset. And of course, you can find the orange box. So again, thank you so much for being here. Feel free to check that out. I really appreciate it if you did. And I'll see you guys later. All right, guys, I will catch you. You have a good one.